blessed day to all and greetings to all Emery superstars worldwide. And shout out, of course, to our Emery International President, Mr. Yapuayen, for his untiring support, all the corporate management, and all the Emery entrepreneurs. Of course, I am just so excited and happy to be here. I appreciate you taking time to attend this simple presentation, and Happy New Month. This is a new month. Happy New Month, everyone. I just feel so blessed to start this new month with this highly important leadership topic. So this topic is interpersonal skills. So are you ready? Emery International. Yes, you heard it right. You heard it right. There will be no more Emery divisions. There will be no regional divisions. Emery Africa, Middle East, and Southeast Asia are now stronger by joining forces and uniting into a one big happy family. So I'm sure you have heard some of that good news yesterday, and yes, we will show you and give you more excitement moving forward. So feel happy, stay excited, because our future will be so bright. So now what I want you to do is just chat there from which country you are now, because we are now worldwide. We have Emirians from Brunei, from Malaysia, from Philippines, of course, mga kababayan ko, and for of course, Emery Middle East. Assalamualaikum. My Habib is there. I know you are here, you are supporting, and of course, the country that celebrated 60 years of independence. Happy independence. Niger, my home for 13 beautiful years, and of course, Ghana, where I started my journey 13 years ago. So let's begin our topic for today. What are interpersonal skills? So interpersonal skills relate to a person's EQ or emotional intelligence quotient. So this is a cluster of personal traits, social graces, communication, optimism, and characterize our relationship with other people. But here's the thing. The funny thing about emotional intelligence is it is rarely discussed or taught formally, yet it significantly impacts the work that we do. You see, studies have shown that it actually accounts for 60% of our performance, no matter what job type or industry we are in. It is the most significant predictor for performance, leadership ability, and personal excellence. And that is why this is the main reason why I have chosen this topic to discuss in this leadership training. So having high EQ relates to the following. So please, you can check in our slides here. Number one, self-awareness. Self-awareness, this is actually the most crucial piece among all of this, because the other sections, this related, and in other words, you cannot be strong in other sections without having a proper self-awareness. So self-management, this cover how we handle disappointments, how we handle frustration, anger, change. We don't like change, but that is self-management, and problem solving, daily problem solving. Next, social awareness. Social awareness, this will cover how to properly navigate any critical first moments that we have. For example, meeting someone new, listening, our etiquette, and having the capability, this is a skill, having a capability to read a group of people in an environment. Then, last but not least, relationship management. This is how we are able to and handle feedback, no matter if it's a good feedback or a not so good feedback, how we show our emotions to others in a right way and in the right context, as well as how we manage to build trust. We will learn more about this moving towards my presentation. So just that's why I wanted to relax, sit back and relax. You are in for a ride. So it is important for us to increase our EQ to make ourselves a standout leader, because this is what we need in your journey towards becoming an Emery Diamond. And not only that, but a less stressful person. Now, it does clearly shows that we all use interpersonal skills every day, whether we are aware or not. And why is it important? Why are interpersonal skills important? It is important because not everyone is blessed to have interpersonal skills, sadly. So if you are noticing, I just want you to reflect, if you are noticing that you often get misunderstood, let's say your team, your network is not growing, or you are losing people, you're losing friendship, you're losing relationship in your life, then this is the best time for you to develop this highly important skill. Your business partners and generally everyone often seek out to those who have strong interpersonal skills. They actively look for people that they actually can work collaboratively, they can communicate effectively and have positive relationships with everyone, with the people around them. That includes your customers, colleagues, and even in your family. Without these skills, ladies and gentlemen, Emirians, an everyday business would be complicated. There will be a lot of issues. Since almost all of the aspects of work, business, and family involves communication. So, why is it important? Why is it highly important for us to develop these skills? Because even if you have a very technical job, Queen, I'm not in a relationship business. I have a very technical job. For example, an IT role. You will still need to interact with colleagues or clients regularly, often imparting complicated information or having to listen carefully to requirements. Having an excellent technical capabilities on your resume or your CV won't necessarily be enough. It is good, yes, but it is not enough to get you to get that dream job or to get you to close that big sale. So done well, it can lead to new and repeat business from recommendations because they just love to work with you and collaborate with you. You'll have more referred customers. Done not so well, no matter how good you are, no matter how intelligent you are, then your circle will never expand. So, with this question, if I am not born with this skill, with this interpersonal skills, can I learn it? What's the answer? Can I learn it? Of course, yes. Interpersonal skills are so vital for both work and personal relationships that they are worth developing. Remember, everything that you have learned when you are interacting with different types of people every day over your lifetime will be giving you a good foundation. So you already have that foundation ready. Now is just time for you to improve yourself more. Let's take a look into 7 main areas of interpersonal skills. Some of this we always hear, but we don't pay attention. So let's tackle it one by one. We have verbal communication. We have non-verbal communication. We have active listening, negotiation, problem solving, decision making, and patience. So let's start with non-verbal communication. So this is how and what words are being used to communicate with individuals, and not only just to simply talk or say words, but communicate to words with the correct tone and manner. Please repeat this after me. Think before you speak. Again, think before you speak. Consider your words are going to affect others in the conversation before you say anything. You must be honest, but you must also remain respectful. This is often get misunderstood, and we often forget about this. Please, honesty, but that is connected with being respectful. Harsh words are sharper than knives. Do you believe so? Comment in our chat box. Harsh words are sharper than knives. It can destroy feelings. It can destroy relationships. It can destroy and break trust. Some are can relate to this, right? I hope you're having fun. Other examples of not being capable of good verbal communication is someone, think about this. Someone who mumbled orders and then screamed when someone like their business partners or their employee or their family members did something wrong that they don't like. They just constantly raises their voice. They're always having high blood pressure. Or some, they get used to this is like a verbally abusing people just because they have the power to intimidate through words. We have those types of people. They're so good with words that they can just easily intimidate people just because they like to. Remember, what goes around comes around. The people you are abusing today might be a key person of your tomorrow. So why don't we change, and why don't we provide a suitable response instead? Be honest when you respond, but avoid attacking or making the other person feel bad, because this is not helpful. It will never be helpful. Always express your opinions politely. The truth is, I want you to listen very carefully with this. Our tongue has no bones, but it is strong enough to break a heart. Let's be careful not to burn bridges. Next, nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication consists of facial expressions, body language, hand gestures. Communicate with nonverbal communication, which consists of frowning, angry stares, even smile. So with this, repeat after me. Be mindful of our body language. It speaks. Our body language may be sending out negative communication signals and we are not even aware. For example, hunched shoulders, hands in the pocket suggest that you don't have much confidence on what you are trying to say, or even like this crossed arms. And folded arms, just like what I did, seems that you are not open to the other people's ideas or whatever the other person is telling you about. If you do like a pointing finger gesture, it might look like you are accusing or you are defensive. Your body language needs to show that you are engaged and always open for conversation. Why don't we be someone who always has a smile on their face, like Mr. Amazingly Brian Louie? Every time you see Brian, he's always smiling. And why don't we express positively? Let's always maintain eye contact with the person we're speaking with, as this makes us genuine and this makes us connected to the person that we are talking. Why don't we give a person a thumbs up, a tap on the shoulder, just to compliment on every job well done? Clap for the people around you. It doesn't matter how small it is or how big the accomplishment is. This is for free. Why don't we give it freely? Everyone wants appreciation. When we do not know how to celebrate others, why do we expect to be celebrated? Think about this. Next, listen. Our listening skills. Listening skills are our ability to hear attentively and process information correctly. Let me be clear. Listening and hearing are completely different. They are not the same. We listen to pay attention because we listen to obtain information, we listen to understand, and we listen to learn. Given all the listening that we do in all of our life, we would think that we're actually good at it, right? We think that listening, of course, I listen, I understand, but reality speaking, most of us are not good listeners. And this is through research. Research suggests that we only remember 25 to 50% of what we hear. This is as described by Edgar Dale's cone of experience. This study means that when you talk to your spouse, your boss, your colleagues, your children, your customers, whoever, and for you who wants to close a big deal, ladies and gentlemen, they are only hearing half of what you are trying to say. So if they talk about 10 minutes talk, half of the conversation is already lost. Active listening is when you listen beyond the words being spoken. You understand the message that being communicated to you. You see, during most conversations, reality speaking, my dear friends, is that the listener is already preparing how to respond rather than concentrating on what the other person is saying. We're already giving that block and hindrance. Clearly, this is a skill that we need to improve and can benefit with. By becoming good listeners, better listeners, we can improve our productivity. We can improve our ability to influence, to persuade, and to negotiate. And all of these things are necessary for success. Are we having fun? Can we click our fingers if we are? So a little exercise. Let's proceed. Things is getting more better and more interesting. Let's now talk about problem solving. So problem solving is another essential skills for business people because a constant problem is a typical result within any organization. Even in a daily basis, we face these challenges. I actually don't like using problems. I love using the word challenges, but let's discuss about this topic. That's why, since we are always very exposed to problem solving, organizations, big organizations everywhere are looking for problem solvers, not problem makers. There's a big difference. So you must also surround yourself with problem solvers, not problem creators. Am I communicating? Again, problem solvers, not problem creators. The ability to find a solution to problems must be your forte. This should be your skill. must be someone that carries a solution. You must be someone that the people wants to go to, not someone who is the opposite. And the opposite is somebody who has a problem in all the solutions. You give a solution, no, it will not work because this is a no person. So you can, everybody, all of us can benefit from having good problem solving skills because we encounter it in a daily basis. And relationships fails, businesses fail because of poor problem solving skills. This is often about either problem not being recognized, they are just indifferent, or they know about it, they recognize it, but they don't do anything about it. For us to be effective, let's check among these several stages of problem solving. Wow, Queen, I didn't know that there are stages. Yes, there is. So let's review and see it one by one. So number one is, let's identify the problem. Let's recognize it, and let's not be indifferent. Let's face it and go to the stage two. And stage two is structure. Structure the problem, observe and analyze, and just don't jump into conclusions. One person will just hear the problem and boom, there's already there's already conclusions about it. Please don't mix emotions or sentiments when you are solving any challenges in your life. Stage three, look for solutions. During this stage is now time to start thinking about all the possible solutions to the identified problem. Prepare several, not just one, because the next stage is for you to decide. And this is the most complex part of problem solving, or actually any decision. This, the most complex part is deciding. Among all the possible solutions that you have prepared, this stage involves careful selection on what you think will be the best possible solution to implement. And that is the stage 5. Implementation. Don't just hear about it, act about it. This means acting on the chosen solution, so that the last stage, when you implement that, you now be ready for feedbacks. This is monitoring about the outcome of your problem solving, because it can always just go two ways. It will work, it will not work. However, if it doesn't work, you are not a failure. You didn't fail. You learned. You now have more wisdom to turn problems into opportunities. And that is a big opportunity out there. We actually should want these challenges in our lives, because that will give us business, that will give us more opportunities. Let me quote about this billionaire CEO, Naveen Jain. Naveen Jain is a CEO of several big organizations, businesses such as InfoSpace. He is also a philanthropist. And he said, and I quote, "A person who sees a problem is a human being. Yeah. A person who finds a solution is a visionary. But the person who will do something about it is an entrepreneur." Question is, are we really entrepreneurs? My friends, ladies and gentlemen, are we here to offer and solve problems? I believe so. That's why we have, Bajin, we have our Immer Plus, we have our His and Hers, we have, of course, our highly rewarding compensation plan. And that is why you are an Immerian. At Immerian, you are part of Immery International. So let's give you a round of applause. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Next, let's proceed to negotiating skills. So negotiating skills is, again, not always inborn. It's another soft skills. They have to be developed through learning because it can always resolve differences between others and you. And a good negotiation leaves each party ready to do business with each other again. So this is another thing that we must highly improve. If you build a powerful negotiating skills, you will become a better deal maker and a better leader. So I want you to ask yourself, can you consider yourself as an ultra negotiator? So ultra negotiator is someone who is so fluent in negotiating. You're so good at it. And you just love having a good deal. So let's raise our hand. Yes, I am part of the ultra negotiating organization. So business negotiators recognize that the most effective bargainers are skilled at creating value and claiming value. Starting any business will involve hundreds and even thousands of negotiations. That's why you must be not only good, but you should be an ultra negotiator. To win in any negotiation, you must clearly define it. Again, something that we will overlook at. In order for us to have this deal done, we must be clear about it. And I'm going to discuss to you the 3 key questions you should ask yourself before going to any negotiation. Question first, what is the best possible outcome? Let's say you are going to negotiate a product or your service, a service. What would most you would realistically go after? When you identify that, the next will be what is your bottom line? This refers to your acceptable offer. If you are the seller, what would be the lowest offer you'd be willing to accept? While if you are the buyer, what is the most you'd be willing to pay for that product and service? Then third, the last is what is your plan B? The authors of Getting to Yes, I don't know if you have read this book. The authors of Getting to Yes, this is something that they called BATNA. BATNA, which means your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. What are you going to do if you don't reach that agreement? What are your backup plans? So when you have all these 3 questions prepared, you will now implement these 5 tips. Let's go to the 5 tips of negotiation. Tip number 1, prepare. Entering a negotiation without proper preparation and you already lost. Forget about it. You need to prepare all the possible scenarios that might arise. Next, you should pay attention to timing. Timing is very vital. Sure, you already know what to ask, right? This is very clear for you. But you also need to be highly sensitive enough when to ask for it. There are really times to press ahead and not say no. I mean, not, of course, accept no for an answer. There's really time for that. But there are also times to wait, because pushing too hard might poison any long-term relationship. So let's be careful. And by doing so, we must leave behind our ego. I always talk about ego. I actually love discussing about this. The best negotiators doesn't care or doesn't show that they care on who gets the credit of any successful deal, because they know it's a continued relationship. You see, if you are a credit grabber, then forget about it. It should always be a win-win situation. And lastly, No, sorry. The fourth one, listen and upgrade your listening skills, because being a good negotiator, you must be a good listener. You must patiently let others have the floor while they make their case. Give them that listening ear. Do not interrupt. There's something that, again, we overlook a lot of times when someone talking to you. We actually want to already cut and interrupt the person. Let's not do that. Let's encourage the other person, the other side, to talk first and give everything that they want to say. Lastly, offer and expect commitment. The glue that keeps all deals unraveling is an unshakable commitment to deliver. It would be best if you offered this comfort level to others, that commitment. Likewise, please do not also avoid deals when you feel that the other side does not demonstrate commitment. Again, win-win situation. So let's take care to develop this highly important skill, because most people will think that they are good negotiators, but in reality, they are not. They are just somebody who likes forcing. So there's a difference. They just force their way to that deal, or they just, if something goes wrong, they just step away, they just leave. You might get that deal done, but you will not get that tomorrow. So that will always affect business relationship. From bringing in good people, from nailing down all the deals that you want, sound negotiating techniques will be highly important. Are we still here and having fun? Next, let's talk about decision-making skills again. This is acting, or the process of making an important decision. So they are connected to problem solving, as mentioned earlier. And question, let me ask you, can decision-making skills help people make better choices? Is this a skill that can make us better choices? Or because I also have, in my experience, also have people just simply deciding without checking the consequences. So answer that question. And another question, you type it down, the answer. Is making better choices a talent? Or is decision making a skill that's something that can be, of course, again, learned and improved? Yes, of course. The answer for all of this is yes. I always say that everything can be learned. Choices that we make every day presents us with daily opportunities, a lot of opportunities to improve our skills in making decisions. Because you see, when we are doing our decisions, it's always about habits. We make decisions out of habit. But why don't we bring these selections to a more conscious level and upgrade how we evaluate, upgrade how we analyze, we self-reflect, and of course, improve. And the only way, some are painful ways, but the only way we gain is from experience. Experiencing the consequences of making poor decisions. That's why we always hear the word, repeat after me, lesson learned, or the best teacher is your last mistake. Decisions define our future. Again, decisions define our future. So it really must be something that we need to improve. And if you are someone who is already trying to do something about it, how can you know? How can you know the indications that you are actually improving? So these are the indications. First, evidence of better result despite occasional failures. It's okay. I told you earlier, you don't fail. You didn't fail. You have learned. Try, try and try and try until you succeed. You are now more calmer. You are more confident in making decisions. You now have a better decision timing. You are now more open to implement effective use of advice, counsel, and coaching. That's why it's important to have mentors, important to have advisors. But having that is not enough. You must know also to implement those advices. Next, are we ready for the next one? Now, let's talk about something very precious. This is very precious. Let's talk about patience. Patience is also a skill. This is the capability to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. We can increase our ability to be patient and engage in practices to become a more patient person. This calls into play some other virtues, especially self-control, humility, and generosity. Let's sit back. Let's sit straight and reflect about this. What does patience means to you? Can we think about that? What does patience means to you? It's not the lioness, patience, mad lion, Emery must pay my bills, ambassador. I know she is here. To me, patience means that I stop hurting myself from getting upset or work out over minor things. I stop hurting myself from pressure, frustration, anger, allowing it to get the best out of me. Because you see, if you allow it, it will affect your physical and mental health. Patience is very important in life. In today's modern age, most of us can get annoyed pretty easily, right? Raise your hand. I can easily be annoyed. I'm guilty. I'm easily annoyed because of staying in the traffic jam for hours, waiting in the queue. I'm hungry. You know, you get annoyed from toxic people or your fake acquaintances, from these gossips, from your frenemies. Queen, what is frenemies? That is a friend and an enemy at the same time. And sometimes over minor things. Whenever I personally feel that my blood is boiling, actually this is something that my colleagues always ask me, Queen, how can you keep your cool? Because you see, one of my job is these challenges, daily challenges, and dealing with different types of people. So how can I keep my cool, and how can I maintain my calmness? Whenever, this is what I do, from my advice, let me share to you. Whenever I feel that my blood is boiling, whenever I feel that I'm getting upset, I first take a deep breath, and I ask myself, will this be worth it? Ask yourself the same question. Whatever it is, because for sure something is bothering you right now, whatever it is that is bothering you, whatever it is that is making you upset, will it be something that will be significant to you in the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 months? Is it significant? If it's not significant to you, to your life, drop it. Let it go. Step away from it. Because this is just a waste of your valuable time and emotions. It will also lessen your beauty and your handsomeness. So don't stress yourself. I love this quote. A moment of patience in a moment of anger saves you 100 moments of regrets. Patience is the pause that helps us get our thoughts back in order and our feelings under control. Another benefit of being patient is that it helps preserves relationships that we care about. According to Interpreneur.com, patience radically increases our capacity to success. Why? Because it helps us lay aside frustration that often lead to quitting. Sometimes if we just feel one inconvenience, forget about it, I will quit. So this is really connected to your success. It helps us think more positively. It helps us make better decisions to help build our reputation. And our reputation is highly important. This is something that we carry through our grave. People want to be around others that are friendly, that are understanding, that are positive in any outlook in life, no matter if they are undergoing challenges. We always say that we don't judge people because we don't know the cross that they're carrying. You don't have to be incredibly sociable. Queen, I'm not an extrovert. I'm not a sociable person. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be outgoing, highly confident person. What you must develop is a type of positive rapport, that support, that positive influence to your teammates so that that workplace, that business will be pleasant. Be someone that is a pleasure to work and collaborate with. Don't be someone that wants to be avoided. If you're old, please, this is not to offend anyone, but just for your self-development, if you are in this industry for a very long time, for sure you have a big organizations before. Are they still with you right now? Did they follow you? If not, ask yourself why. Why is that my old business partners are not with me anymore? Why is it that these people are not picking my calls? Why is it that my friends don't visit me? Or why is it that I don't get even birthday greetings without Facebook reminding them? We only have one life. See yourself becoming better. Make the most out of it with the people you care about. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, Himerians. That's the importance of interpersonal skills. Hard skills are useless without soft skills. Let's interact well with other people. These skills I mentioned are more challenging to develop. We all have talents. We have inborn talents. Some of us are genius. Some of us are highly professional. We have these hard skills. That is well done. But without soft skills, that will not last. This is something that I mentioned is more challenging to develop because they have little to do with knowledge or expertise, but are closely linked to a person's character and a commitment to self-development to improve. Let me end you with this. You may be the most intelligent person. You may be a good public speaker. You may have a good public speaking skills. Your CV may look impressive, but the soft skills, your interpersonal skills, that people skills, which means your good character, will set you apart as a person. And at the end of the day, that is what the people will value more. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po. Shukran, Medasipa, Nagote. Thank you for attending this simple presentation. My appreciation to all. Stay happy, stay simple.